Women must take responsibility for their financial literacy before settling down. Otherwise, they're going to risk a future riddled with money problems. That's according to one of the nation's most awarded mortgage brokers. And she joins me now, Louisa Sanghera. Louisa, thank you very much for your time.
No worries, thanks for having me.
Louisa is from Zippy Financial. She's the director and principal of that company. They say that a man is not a plan. That's more and more the case, isn't it? We're seeing that women having to become a lot more financially independent and a lot more financially wise, Louisa.
Yeah, that's right. Things have changed a lot in my 30 years in finance. And what we're seeing now is that more and more women are getting degrees, the PhDs, they're getting educated more, and they're going on to bigger and better jobs, so getting paid more money. There is a bit of a pay gap there still in some occupations, but the women are catching up, and what we're seeing is that they're wanting to go it alone now and use the money wisely.
Well, I guess to women like yourself, taking good roles within companies, setting up your own financial brokerage company too, has got to be giving women a lot more courage, and I guess they can relate to you a lot better too, and maybe talk to you better than they would to a male broker.
Yeah, I think, I'm a mum of two. I've been in finance over 30 years, so I've seen lots of cycles. I've also worked in, not just Australia, obviously you can tell from my accent I'm from the UK, so I've worked in a few countries, got a lot of experience. So I think most people can, I can relate to people. Let's say I'm a mum, I've got a mortgage, I've got investment properties, so I'm doing exactly the same as my clients. But I've got a bit more, obviously, financial education behind me, which I'm happy to share.
Yeah, well, for women to take this big step, buying property, committing to mortgages and so on in their own right, can they do that at any age, or is it something that they have to learn from a very young age?
No, you can do it at any age. I love to see the youngsters coming through at 18 and 19 start to ask questions about property, investing in property. That really excites me. I was 19 myself when I bought my first property. But, we also deal with a lot of females in the 40s and 50s that have gone through divorce and are starting again. So, you can be any age. Obviously, once you get past your 50s, it does become harder to borrow the money, but it's still doable.
Yeah, there's still a lot of financial troubles ahead for a number of people. They find some very stressful situations like a job loss, divorce, serious illness, or even a death in the family. What are some of the challenges that women face in that area, and how can they overcome them?
I think, we see a lot of women going through divorce, for example, and the women have generally given up the job to bring up the children. So they've not had their own income. They've probably no savings, very little super because they've not been paying into the super. So it is a challenge. And even though they might get money from the divorce, I'm Sydney-based, so, buying a property in Sydney, it's hard to do for a couple, never mind somebody single. So it's getting the deposit together that's really difficult for them, but they've usually got a bit of divorce money. We put that to one side, and it's just getting onto a plan. So I always say anything's achievable if you've got a plan, and it's just, you do have to make sacrifices sometimes if you want to achieve the property, but get a plan together, and I think, if they work with professionals to help them and guide them and also keep them accountable along the track, I think anything's achievable. And if they can't get into an owner-occupied these days, they can buy investment properties elsewhere around the country that may be affordable to help build the wealth.
And I guess being realistic and removing yourself emotionally from the purchase is pretty important too. Is that a hurdle for some women?
It is, like leaving a property, especially, after divorce and things, is very emotional. And buying a home, I think, is emotional for anybody, male or female. But It's just, it's something that we as brokers manage with. We help them manage that. We might help them manage the emotion and hold the hand and guide them through it all. With investing, that's not so emotional. So if they can't afford to buy the owner-occupied property, then they'll buy an investment, and that's not as emotional. And we say to people, you don't even have to see the property a lot of the time, as long as it works on paper, and it's a good investment, then they can go for it.
Yeah, that's a big lesson to learn on its own. Louisa, thank you so much for your time. Louisa is from Zippy Financial. What's the website if we want to reach out to you?
It's just zippyfinance.com.au.
Okay, pretty easy. zippyfinance.com.au. Thank you so much for your time, Louisa.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.